once we have finished our mobility exercise, let's do some hip flexor stretching. Why is this important? Well, every time you do a squat, a hinge, bending position, you're shortening your hip flexors. Walking up the stairs, sitting at a desk, what are you doing? You're putting your hip flexors in a shortening position. I like to get set up in a squat rack with a step in the squat rack, adding a resistance band high up to where I can actually step into the resistance bands. Yes, they're called resistance bands for a reason. They're resistance. You're pushing down. So as I get into the resistance band, this is where you learn control. Control and stability. You're creating stability within the squat rack frame, and you're controlling this movement. You're going to be doing internal, external rotation of your hips, as you see me doing now, and then control your body and step down. See how I have it placed on my foot right in the middle? This is putting your hip flexors in the lengthening position. I'm not extending all the way back like a lunge. I'm lengthening the hip flexors and just holding it. I love this exercise. I love doing this move because it is a lengthening position in your hip flexors. Almost every leg day I do this. Actually, I don't. I take it back. I do it once a week, twice a week, perhaps. Depends on how stiff your hip flexors are. Do not forget about your hip flexors because, again, squats, a hinging motion, you're putting them in a shortening position. Same with a leg press, same with an RDL, same with sitting at a desk. Stepping up the steps, you're in a shortening position. So really stretch them out with a lengthening position for your hip flexors. You do not have to start this heavy with the resistance band. Start light and work your way up to the thicker band. So train your hip flexors. This prevents them from becoming tight.